Hey guys, it's Yuta. So the question is, do Japanese police discriminate against certain foreigners? And in my previous video, I asked my audience to take the survey and let me know how many months they've lived in Japan and how many times they got stopped. And this time I also asked some information like their perceived ethnicity or gender, and you can still take the survey, so if you want to add more data, please click the link in the description. So let's have a look at the data. And this time I collected 697 data points. So here you have how many months they've lived in Japan, and here how many times they got stopped, where they lived mostly, their gender, their perceived ethnicity, and a comment. For example, this person stayed in Japan for 14 months and got stopped once, so the average is 0.07 times per month. And overall, they got stopped 0.1 times per month by the police, which more or less means once in 10 months. And this number is actually quite similar to my previous research with my Facebook group with a smaller sample size of 67 people, if I calculate the average the same way. And the distribution also looks similar. So the x-axis shows how many times they got stopped per month, and the y-axis shows how many people we have within that range. So this means 444 people have never been stopped, and 65 people got stopped between 0.05 and 0.1 times per month. As you can see, most people never got stopped, or if they did, it was fairly rare. But we have a few outliers who just kept getting stopped all the time, and they pushed the average higher. So who are these outliers? So let's read some comments. I get stopped a lot more when I wear my thobe and gutra. When I lived in Kokubunji for the first few months, I was stopped all the time. Then I moved closer to the Shinjuku area, and it never happened since. I was stopped when walking through bad neighborhoods, apparently. Police just asked what I was doing in the area, and if I knew that area is trouble. They were surprised to learn I was American. I have some Asian characteristics due to one side of my family having Asian relatives. So it seems like a combination of your ethnicity and the place. Now let's see how their perceived ethnicity affected their chance of getting stopped. I asked their perceived ethnicity because what Japanese police think their ethnicity is more important than their actual ethnicity. So let's have a look. Now I put the sample size besides the ethnicity because sometimes there aren't enough people to have a meaningful number. And I also did a basic check of statistical significance. Usually, if this value is less than 0.05, it's considered statistically significant. If you want to be more strict, you can use 0.01. Now let me show you the chart to make it more visual, right? So what can we tell from this chart? First of all, more than half of the respondents are white, and they got stopped 0.06 times per month on average. However, this doesn't mean all people have the equal chance of getting stopped. In fact, most people very rarely got stopped, as we discussed earlier. Now the funny thing is that Japanese-looking people got stopped more often than white people. However, this is not statistically significant, so it's possible that those who took the survey just happened to got stopped a lot. And there are only a few groups that have lower averages than white people. But again, due to the small sample size and the difference between individuals, this is likely to be just chance. So let's put all the East Asian people together because we kind of look the same, don't we? Now we have a larger sample size and the average is still higher than white people. But the difference is still quite likely due to chance. So it's likely the chance of getting stopped is about the same for East Asian and white people. However, when it comes to black people, it's a different question. Black people got stopped a lot more than white people, And the important difference is that it's not just a few black people who got stopped a lot, but they kind of almost equally got stopped more. Actually, more than half of the black people got stopped at least once. You can see this visually if you compare this histogram with the one with the white people. And statistically speaking, the difference between those groups is not likely just chance. So we have a good reason to believe that Japanese police discriminate against black people. But what about Middle Eastern people who have even a higher average? They almost got stopped once in every 2 months. But due to the small sample size, we are not quite sure if it's just chance, but it's somewhat likely that it's statistically significant. But we need more Middle Eastern people taking the survey, so if you are one, please take the survey. Now, how about Southeast Asian people? Well, it seems they got stopped more often, but it's not quite certain whether it's just chance or not. And it's the same for South Asian, half Japanese, other mixed race, and Latinos. Now let's combine them together because they include a very diverse set of people who don't quite look East Asian, white, or black. So Japanese police might judge them in a similar way. And with this group, the average is 3 times higher than the white people, and it's somewhat statistically significant. So, based on what we discussed, we can come up with 4 distinct groups, even though the second group is somewhat arbitrary. And our conclusion is, Japanese police discriminate against people who don't look East Asian or white. And sadly, this is not particularly surprising, and it's very unfair, but if there's any consolation, you will virtually never get shot by Japanese police officers. Anyway, I will probably write a blog post about it when I get more data, so please take the survey if you haven't already. And if you want to impress Japanese police officers when you do get stopped by speaking supernatural Japanese, you should click the link and join my Japanese email group, Japanese with Yuta. And when you do, don't forget to click the green button in your first message to confirm. Alright, see you guys soon. Ciao ciao.